You are tuned into the Literacy Hour with Test Taking Solution and your host, Dr. Kentrell Liddell, MD, MBA. The purpose of this show is to help mitigate health disparities, improving literacy related to health, economics, and education. For all your professional development, professional management, and educational support services needs, contact Test Taking Solution, where we're igniting success. Located at 2104 Thousand Oaks Drive in Jackson, Mississippi. Literacy is knowledge and knowledge is power. Thank you for joining the Literacy Hour. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Literacy Hour with Test Taking Solution. Yes, I have received your good morning messages, and I hope you are now hearing mine. I am so glad that we are on this side, and I'm mighty grateful for our dedicated underwriters, the Copia Ministerial Alliance. Good evening, Dixon Body Shop. That's continue to patronize these businesses, and I'm mighty glad that they just see fit to help all of us have access to resources like the Literacy Hour. How are you this morning? I hope you're saying I'm doing good, Dr. Liddell. I'm just elated to be alive today, right? We're also extremely grateful for the continued love, support, and generosity demonstrated by the Toombs family, the Smith family, the Wright family, the Lewis family, the Steele family, the Walker family, and the Glenn family. They sponsor scholars in grades K through 12 who attend our Test Taking Solution Foundation after school program. And all the children they sponsor have improved in their reading, their math, and science classes by at least one letter grade. They were too excited to show all of us on their report cards. They're leveling up and falling out, singing, dancing when they do so. And we are just so happy for them. They're learning, they're mastering concepts, but for the support of the families whose name I've just called, I'm convinced that a few of the children would have given up by now. I know for a fact we would have had a few dropouts, but for the support, love, admiration, and the village that we've been able to build around these children. Our scholars' families are so very encouraging and supportive. Oh, I'm just so thankful. It is November, isn't it? Thanksgiving is our holiday in this month, and I just have such a spirit of being thankful this morning and every day, but especially this morning. I woke up this morning, of course, with my mind on Jesus and just worshiping and singing and enjoying, understanding, comprehending, having the movement of my limbs. And I know you're happy about that today too. Sure, it's a lot of things going on. Sure, there are a lot of other things I could be thinking about that might get me a little down for a moment. I choose not to think of those things this morning. I choose to be happy, and I hope you do too. Just yesterday, the Smith family brought our staff groceries for Thanksgiving meals. They didn't have to do that, but they did. It just means so much. Miss Carolyn Smith, shout out to her this morning. I hope she is listening in. Just a wonderful grandmother, a wonderful mom. Her sons, they didn't have to do it, but they did. And none of you have to be listening to the Literacy Hour this morning, but you are. And we just want to say thank you. I never want to take it for granted. The Literacy Hour is certainly not about me. It's about all of us being informed, understanding where help comes from. We know ultimately our help comes from God. But there are some resources right here in our community that can help us to live better, higher quality lives. And I want to make sure that from a literacy standpoint, we're literate, we're informed. Literacy is knowledge. And you all know that knowledge is power. And again, I'm so excited that right now, at this very moment, we're all experiencing the literacy hour. The phone line is open, and if you'd like to join the discussion this morning, or if you'd like to share your thoughts on air, just call this number 601 714 8378. That number to call again is 601 714 8378. You call in, I'm certainly going to yield to you and hear what you have to share. Now, make sure that what you're sharing is educational and that you are informing us and helping us to lead better lives. But you know what? I don't even have to say that because I have one of the greatest listening audiences, I think, of all. Because when you all call in, my goodness. Yeah, the show stops. You're show stoppers. We have to yield and hear what you have to say because you are always sharing some insightful information. Again, I'm your host, Dr. Kentrell Liddell, and today is November 18th. And in November, the following medical conditions are recognized: diabetes, lung cancer, COPD, which stands for chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and pancreatic cancer. So if you check out our social media pages, Instagram and Facebook, you'll see that we've posted information about diabetes and COPD this month already. Thank you so much for subscribing so that you can keep up with what we're doing, where we are, what's going on. We'll certainly keep you in tune to happenings in the community, to things that we're involved in, and various initiatives. And every now and then, we're going to share our scholars with you. We may not put their names up. We allow their mothers and fathers and grandparents, guardians to do that. But we do want you to at least see their smiling faces because I think it's encouraging. It lets you know that there is hope for our youth and there is hope for you, right? This Friday will help to educate and raise awareness about lung cancer. As a matter of fact, here's an important fact that you need to know, okay? Cigarette smoking. Yeah, I'll give you that fact as it relates to lung cancer. Cigarette smoking is linked to nearly 80% of all lung cancer deaths. Now, what does that mean? That if you smoke cigarettes, we're talking nicotine, that you are more likely to be diagnosed with lung cancer than if you don't. That's what that means. It means that there has been a linkage found between the cigarette smoking and lung cancer. And again, I know, I've heard it all. And patients have said to me, Dr. Liddell, well, I got to die from something. And I love my cigarettes. They help me to be stress free. They help me to control my anxiety and my this and my that. And I got to go anyway from something. Well, that is true. We have come here and we're going to leave here. And we got to leave here from something. But I tell you what, I love to think about those whom I'm leaving behind. I don't want to leave them behind any sooner than I have to leave them behind. And so I'm going to do all I can to stay here for as long as I can. There are a lot of things I want to see and experience. There are a lot of places I want to go. A lot of people I want to meet. A lot of things I want to do. So no cigarette smoking for me and no secondhand smoke. So if you happen to be smoking and I excuse myself, just kind of ease away from you, then please don't be offended. It's just that that's one diagnosis I'm going to try my best not to get, and that is lung cancer. Again, this is the month of November, and we'll be sharing more information about this disease and diabetes, COPD, and pancreatic cancer as well. Today is Third Tuesday, which is our Financial Literacy Tuesday here on the Literacy Hour. I want to remind you that the information shared during the Literacy Hour, either by the host or guest, is for educational purposes. It doesn't constitute medical, legal, financial, or tax advice. For specific advice applicable to your situation, contact a licensed certified professional, preferably one with whom you have a relationship. I like to share with you recalls as I hear about them. You know, there are some more cinnamon brands being added to the health alert over the lead levels that have been found in the cinnamon products. We're talking ground cinnamon. Yes, they've been found to contain elevated lead levels. And that was according to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. You know, they are the police when it comes to making sure that food and health products, etc., are safe for our consumption. And here we are, a month out now from when they first issued this alert, but we need to keep it in front of us. They put warnings on the Haetae brand, that's Haetae. They put a warning on the Roshni, Roshni brand. I had some of that in my closet, in my cabinet, and I took it out and threw it away. And I encourage you to do the same thing because we just can't be too careful. So elevated levels of lead has been found in the Haetae brand of ground cinnamon and the Roshni brand of ground cinnamon. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration issuing the health alert simply means this, that exposure to these products may be unsafe. Okay, so let's not take any chances. Let's go ahead and get rid of those. The one that has been added since I first told you about all of this is the Jiva. I think it's pronounced Jiva. It might be Jiva. The I might be a long I. And if I had the test taking solution scholars around here, our elementary level scholars, they would tell you that that long I says its name, Jiva, Jiva. And the short I, it doesn't say its name. It would be Jiva, Jiva. I, like igloo, Jiva. So that Jiva, organic ground cinnamon, that's been added to the list as well. So you got the Haetae brand, the Roshni brand, and the Jiva or Jiva brand. Okay. They might contain elevated levels of lead. Let's not take any chances. If I hear anything else about the ground cinnamon products, I will let you know and keep you informed about that on Tuesday mornings. There was another health alert. I know I gave you one last week, but this one I just have to share. Baby formula. Yeah, there's been a recall because some infants got sick from botulism. An outbreak of botulism was tied to the By Heart baby formula. By Heart. B-Y. By. Uh, Not the B-U-Y, like you're going somewhere to purchase something, not that buy, but the other buy. B-Y. H-E-A-R-T. That's By Heart baby formula. Made some children, some infants sick over in California, and that has spread to 12 different states now. Yes, and so want to be careful. The organic baby formula was um, produced by Heart, and By Heart is located in New York. But you see how something can start out in one state and spread across our country pretty rapidly. Another reason why it's so important that we have institutions like the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and that we have public health officials who can help keep us informed. We give us a fighting chance. Let us know, what we can possibly do to keep ourselves and our loved ones safe. So get rid of that By Heart organic baby formula, at least for now. And if they lift the alert, then hopefully, prayerfully, you will hear about that. Certainly, if I hear about it, I'm going to let you know. But that they realized there was an outbreak going on back in mid-August, right? And so, of course, they have to test the formulas and go through various things. But just 6 days ago, they doubled down on it and really confirmed that yes, these cases of infant botulism was real, and they want people to not give their babies this infant formula. So for those of you not familiar with botulism, I'm not going to give a whole class on it this morning, but hey, we are on the literacy hour, so I just want you to know that it's a muscle paralyzing illness. We don't want our babies' muscles to be paralyzed. We already have an infant mortality rate issue in our state. Let's really try not to um, help the ones who are able to make it and see their first birthday have botulism. We don't want that, right? And so that Clostridium, that's the name of that bacteria, it has a neurotoxin. And so when you have food products that are infected by that bacteria, it can lead to botulism. And symptoms include drooping eyelids, and may have some blurred vision. The child may have some difficulty swallowing and muscle weakness. And then, hey, that thing can progress. They start to have difficulty breathing, right? And then, the diaphragm right underneath your lungs, that can become paralyzed. You can't breathe as well. So you got to seek immediate medical attention. We can help prevent all of that by taking these warnings seriously. Throw out the by heart infant formula. I want to switch gears a little bit and share with you some very important news that I'm always excited to share during Financial Literacy Tuesday, and that is about our wonderful Mississippians who are doing great work across this country. We are Mississippi strong. I don't care what anybody says about our state. It's just one of the most beautiful states with experts in every field you can name. My goodness, we are Mississippi strong and we should be proud. We have a lot to be proud of. And I want everyone to support two fine Mississippi gentlemen as they play for the NFL, and pray for their health and strength as they continue to represent the very best of Mississippi in the National Football League. They give back to their communities, and that's why I love them so, because they did not forget where they came from, right? They did not forget from whence they've come. And I'm so excited for their careers. I'm excited for their families. That's Jeffrey Simmons, number 98 of the Tennessee Titans, and Swayze Bozeman, number 27 of the Chicago Bears. Now, let me make sure, because I thought that he had transferred here just recently. Y'all check that for me now, because I'm thinking the New York Giants got blessed with him not long ago. So y'all check that and just let me know. And I hope he still has that jersey number, though. So please let me know that as well. Let me know. Is Swayze still with Chicago Bears, or is he gone on over to New York Giants now? Okay, well, y'all check and let me know now, because I want to make sure that, he's moving. He's on the move. I do know that Jeffrey Simmons, Tennessee Titan, number 98. Okay. He's been on the New York Giants. That's what I wanted to know. But hey, I know he started out with Chicago. I know that. But hey, it's Chicago's loss. So I know that he's getting better and better. I see that. I can tell you that much, because I see where the stats tell me he's gotten even more tackles than he had gotten before. So way to go, New York. He made a great decision by signing Swayze Bozeman, and we're going to continue to follow his career with the New York Giants. Jeffrey Simmons, Tennessee Titan, number 98, just this past weekend, had 3 solo tackles, a 1 sack, and a loss to the Houston Texans. And he's become the face of the Tennessee Titan. You go, Mississippi, and created a sports equity fund this fall with Nashville Community Connections. And he donated some new hats and shoulder pads to a local high school team in Tennessee. And he surprised the players with a speech. Jeffrey Simmons, number 98, in case you didn't know, is from my hometown, Macon, Mississippi, Noxubee County. Yes, we've been delivering the great packages of the NFL for quite some time. And right down the street from us in Crawford, we helped to deliver Jerry Rice as he got stronger by playing against Noxubee. So Jeffrey Simmons, number 98, and the Tennessee Titans play the Seattle Seahawks on this Sunday. Let's continue to support this great Mississippian, the same as I want us to do with Swayze Bozeman, New York Giants. He's wearing number 27. 3 tackles and a loss to the Green Bay Packers this past weekend. No new information about how things are going with him and his wife. They're expecting a new baby, and so I'm going to take no news as good news and that all is well. We cannot wait to welcome the little new baby Bozeman into the world next year. He's due sometime next spring, so we will be on the lookout for Swayze Bozeman's child. He and the New York Giants play the Detroit Lions on Sunday. That's coming up. So let's watch for Jeffrey Simmons, Tennessee Titan, number 98, and Swayze Bozeman, New York Giants, number 27. They come home every so often. I know Jeffrey, he hosts a camp every summer, and Swayze did this summer at his school, Tri-County Christian Academy over there in Florida, Mississippi. They're just doing great things, and I'm just proud of them. Thank you also for your prayers and support of my son, Joshua Liddell. He continues his journey to becoming a heavyweight champion. He recently won another bout against a guy in Ohio. Yes, you're right. You're right. He is on a winning streak, and we're mighty Mississippi proud of him. You can follow Joshua on Instagram, JLiddell601. He and I talk about it quite often. That boxing doesn't get the love in the early stages that all of the other sports get, but it is such an exciting sport. I've had the honor of serving as a ringside physician, and I have really enjoyed watching Joshua's growth and development in the arena of boxing. And so good job there. He's also a military man, and I'm proud of his service. If you're streaming the Literacy Hour right now live on YouTube, his Instagram handle is on the screen, so you can follow him at JLiddell601, see what he's up to. If you know of any other athletes currently playing, representing our state, okay, the beautiful state of Mississippi on a national scale, they got a hail from Mississippi now, born and raised. I want you to call in and let me know about them. 601-714-8378. They must have been born and raised in Mississippi. That's Mississippi through and through. Why? Because we're Mississippi strong. Look out, Seattle Seahawks. Look out, Detroit Lions. And look out, boxing world. The SIP is on its way. I want us to show up Mississippi strong for the runoff election for Senate District 26 on December 2nd. Yes, we have a runoff, right? And the candidates need our support. Our foundation has great plans for our Mays Street site over in the district. I attend church in the district. I have friends and family in the district, as do many of you. And so we're all very interested in this race. And we were very interested in learning from the candidates. And there have been a couple of panel discussions, and we catch those on the day of, a lot of us, and it just went very well announced and publicized, but we did catch them, and thank God they recorded them. So you can find them as well, I'm sure, on Facebook and on YouTube. But we were blessed to hear directly from Attorney Judge Kamisha Mumford. Yes, we invite candidates to talk to us and answer questions from you all, and just to let us know what their platform is and more about what they desire to accomplish in office. And again, we were blessed by the presence of Attorney Judge Kamisha Mumford. She shared a lot of very wonderful facts with us when she visited right here on the Literacy Hour. And she's a dedicated attorney, judge, and a community advocate running for this seat. That's State Senate District 26, a lifelong Mississippian. See there? I mean, a Mississippi strong woman. Kamisha earned her bachelor's degree in political science with a concentration in women's studies. Boy, do we need that sort of knowledge right about now with our maternal health crisis in this state. That concentration in women's studies is going to come in handy. And she got it from my alma mater, Mississippi State University, Hale State, and her Juris Doctorate from Mississippi College School of Law. Let me be clear now. I got my MBA from Mississippi State. I call Tougaloo College my alma mater. Both of them are, but boy, there is no place like Tougaloo. And I just thank God for that HBCU experience. It changed my life and the lives of so many other professionals in our state. Attorney Judge Kamisha Mumford, she's licensed to practice law in both Mississippi and Louisiana. She didn't just stop here. She branched out. She brings 20 years plus of legal experience to the table. Yes, she has a focus on real estate and tax sale litigation. It's good to know these things because, see, she's another resource in our community, and she has put herself out here as a potential public servant to continue serving on an even greater level. She wants to become Senator Mumford. She and her husband own a law firm, Mumford and Mumford. They're co-founder of Mumford Title LLC. She works with families on real estate closings, title work, legal matters. So even, when she goes, go ahead and do what she has to do, the law firm will be open, and these are the kinds of things that you'll be able to get some help with: real estate closings, title work, legal matters that affect property ownership, investments, important topics that we've discussed right here on Financial Literacy Tuesday here on the Literacy Hour. She knows all of those things, and since 2013 she has served as a municipal court judge for the city of Canton. Now let's count that up. 2025 minus 2013 gives us 12 years. Now, I don't have to tell you, anybody who can successfully continue in a judge seat for over a decade, she's doing something right. She's now in her third term. Did you hear me? Third term. Fellow judges elected her president of the Mississippi Municipal Judges Association. I know something about being president of stuff now. Been elected president of this group and that group, and my sorority, Zeta Phi Beta, and medical school organizations, and this and that. Let me tell you, when you're elected president, it means that your peers think that you are a good leader. And not only that, you obviously have good networking skills, good connections. You know how to treat people. Because ain't nobody going to sit here and elect you to a big high seat and you don't know how to treat folks. You don't know how to talk to folks. You don't know how to return phone calls and respond to emails. I understand you might be busy and you can't do it, but you need to surround yourself with some folks who will do it on your behalf and do it well as you would do it. I know what it is to be a president of something. So for her peers to have elected her president of the Mississippi Municipal Judges Association. Wow. She also serves on the DUI Information Exchange Advisory Committee. I know what it is to serve on advisory committees now. I serve on one nationally, National Home Health and Hospice Rural Advisory Committee. Yes, they invite you and they ask, would you like to serve? They don't do that unless they believe that you have a perspective from which they can gain insight. And so I have served on that committee for years, and that's after serving on the National Adult Day Services Association Board of Directors. What I'm trying to tell you is, I'm not just talking out the side of my neck. You know, I don't do that. I'm telling you what I know and not what I heard. I know what it is to serve on these sorts of committees and organizations. And the fact that she is able to juggle that with family life, it says something to me. Now, I have a caller, but I'm not done, because you see, Miss Mumford decided that I'm going to take the invitation to talk to the people, and she did that. So, caller, you're on the air. What's your question or comment? What do you want to tell us this morning?
Well, first of all, I like to comment. People doing a great job. You're doing, teaching people on their health issues.
Oh, that's so
Another
sweet. Thank
thing,
you.
I like to comment you on put God in your program and what you do.
Oh,
The
wow.
blessings once you serve God. But anyway, what I like to bring to people attention, if you come down with cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, I've been diagnosed with all those problems. I go to the doctor, they give me medication to help me with my health. But most of all, I serve the good Lord.
Mm,
Try to live a life pleasing to Him.
yes.
Try to live a life pleasing to Him. Most times it'll avoid all those bad health problems.
Mm,
We get those health problems, and yes, we need the church or somehow spiritual led to pray for us. But when you got a connection with the Lord, you can pray for yourself and you can see what you need. But it's all just a test of faith, See, you're going to main focus on Him when you go through these different situations in life. But I always stand a closer walk with Him, with God.
I'm
That's one thing
glad.
I just like to share with you on your show.
Well, I'm glad that you took the time out to do so. And thank you for listening to the Literacy Hour. You call back anytime, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
That is
Thank you.
that is so wonderful. That gentleman, I can tell he has a strong walk with Christ, and he loves God. He's a lover of God. Now, he did say that, you wouldn't be dealing with some health conditions if we had a stronger walk with God. Let me tell you, let me just comment on it. I would say that God's will shall be done. He knows our beginning and our ending, and He knew us while we were yet being formed in our mother's womb. Yes, He did. He's omniscient, all knowing. He's omnipotent, all powerful, and He's omnipresent everywhere, all at the same time. He's God alone. And so I will say that yes, He allows things, but He does not uh, strike us with conditions because we are not serving Him. That's not how He does business. I do agree with the caller in that a stronger walk, uh, particularly having a church family, a church home, a pastor who you can go to and talk to about anything, a first lady whom you can speak to about things, a mother board, a deacon board. These entities, these groups, auxiliaries at the church, they matter. They matter a great deal. And when we are afflicted with various health conditions, I just don't want you to ever think that it's because of something you did wrong. It might very well be because of something you're doing right. You see, God can use us even in our trials and tribulations. Now, you really want to talk about it and learn more about how I feel about that and what I think on that, you tune back in on Fourth Tuesday. That's when we discuss mental health and wellness. And I've told you many times, I cannot be mentally well without my relationship with God. Doesn't mean I'm perfect. I'm far from it. I don't want to be, really. I don't want to know everything. I really don't. I think, shoot, I'll probably be scared all day. I don't want to know everything, but those things that I do want to know, if I don't know them, I know how to find them out. Okay. So again, I want to appreciate the caller for calling in. He didn't have to, but he did. He was brave enough and nice enough to share some information with us. You know, the good Lord, the Word of God says that by His stripes we are healed, and I just want you to know that prayer changes things, and you can pray to God, and God does ordain ministers and doctors to help take care of us. Other healthcare providers have come along as well, but we have medicine as well that can take care of some of our ailments. What I'm saying is, uh, don't just sit around and be sick. We have a lot of resources. We have a lot of resources. And I want you to take advantage of the resources. When we learn better, we should do better. Now, and that's one reason I'm so excited about this literacy hour, because I get to share some of my knowledge with you. I know a little bit about a lot of things, and I just want us to be very informed. But I also want to learn from you. I want you to call in. I want you to share like this brother did. He also encouraged me, and I really appreciated that as well. We all need encouragement. We can't do this thing by ourselves. We're not here by ourselves, y'all. And so we have to help one another. Didn't y'all hear me love on those families that stopped by yesterday and bless my staff with? Man, they didn't have to do that. Listen, caller, you're on the air. What do you want to teach us this morning?
Oh, good morning, Dr. Liddell.
Good morning.
It's Kamisha Mumford. I just wanted to call in to the Literacy Hour this morning. I was listening to you on my commute to work, and I always appreciate all the information you give to your listeners.
Oh, wow. See, you always bless us and surprise us. And Attorney Mumford, how are you feeling here leading into December 2nd? Just share your thoughts with us, and let us know how you're feeling and how we can support. And I know part of that support is going to be prayer, but how people can help you to further get your message out to everyone these last days.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I am feeling good. I feel energized. I'm back at it as I've been since November 4th, getting ready for December 2nd. And really, what we need to do is just make sure everyone knows that there is a runoff on December 2nd, and everybody needs to get back out and vote.
Well, we're going to make sure that people know that. And again, you have a platform. So what I'm encouraging people to do is to vote December 2nd for someone with a plan, for someone who truly cares, and for someone who has a plan about what needs to be done and what she'll do on day one on the job. So is there a specific plan that you're just very excited about that you would like to share with the listening audience while you have us?
There are several things that I'm excited about going into the session. I have a proposal for a blight bill to help with some of the blighted properties in our community. I also want to have a focus on public safety, and not just, responding to crimes, but, providing some rebates for Ring doorbell cameras, better lighting, the after school program for our children, just taking a real community collaborative approach to public safety. Public education is also something that's really important to me. I fully support our public school system. I want to make sure we protect that system, keeping our dollars there, but also paying our teachers a competitive pay rate, so we're not losing teachers to other states. Listen, I'm energized. I've always been a busy bee, a happy worker. I don't do the work in a way where I'm upset or mad about doing the work. I just do all the work with so much joy. And that's what I'm ready to bring to Senate District 26.
Wow.
Hard work, but joyful work.
Yes, ma'am. As you were saying that, the church song, Joy, Joy, Joy to my soul, joy down in my heart. That song, Joy, came to mind. So, I'm going to be playing that when I get off the air. Joy, joy.
That's right.
God's great joy. Yeah, we're going to be playing that. And
I
I'm so
appreciate it.
excited. Pastors everywhere are going to be encouraged about your future plan dealing with these blighted properties, because there are some churches that have blighted properties around them, and there are some residents with blighted property around them. So everyone's going to be very excited about that. Attorney Judge Mumford, I know that you are a busy, busy bee, as you have already said, and we're going to let you go, let you continue to meditate and really refresh and think about some things as you drive into work. Because if you're like me, that's your time to just really just commune with God and ask him to lead you and direct you during the day. Am I right about that?
Yes, ma'am, you are absolutely right. That's my time to have some quiet before I get to it. But I had to call in this morning, and I appreciate your time and all that you're doing for this community.
Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Yes, you too. Bye bye.
This is just wonderful. You see, um, no one asked her to do that. That's a servant. You don't have to be asked. You just get up and you serve. I met a first lady Sunday at church, and she and I had a wonderful conversation. First Lady Bolden, and that's Pastor Bolden over at Tabernacle Ministries' wife, and she said, I just love to serve. We had that in common, and so I was so very happy and thrilled to hear her say that they're trying to feed us, and we want to get up and serve and feed others. That's all right. So there you have it. Attorney Judge Mumford has called in and shared with us again. She's been on the campaign trail and talking to people about her plans, and then listen, um, you get to hold her accountable. You get to talk to her after election. She'll still be around, and if if other candidates want to call in, I think it's just two running. And then the number is 601-714-8378. But they have the number because I invited them. Thank you, Attorney Judge Mumford. We appreciate you more than you know. Let me give you guys a few announcements, and then we'll see if there is additional information about finances that I want to share this morning. I have so much to share, but I don't want to overload you. I do know that announcement wise, the school districts are doing some things as they always are. And I normally would share this on Education Literacy Tuesday, which is First Tuesday. But JPS has made announcements November 18th, that's today. JPS is having its school board meeting. You heard Attorney Judge Mumford talk about the importance of public education, public school education, and education in general. I don't care where you get it from, really, so long as you get educated. And so the JPS school board meeting will be today, Bailey APAC parent interest meeting. Northwest IB parent interest meeting. All of that is happening today. Tomorrow they're going to have McWillie parent interest meeting, JPS Tougaloo, early college parent interest meeting. That's awesome. November 20th, Career Development Center renaming. What? They're going to rename their CDC, the Career Development Center. Man, they had an amazing professor over there, Mr. Lundra Hunter. He was holding it down a long time. Oh, man. And they're having a ribbon cutting ceremony, Forest Hill Parent Interest Meeting on the 20th. And then November 24th through the 28th will be Thanksgiving break. Hinds County School District is having its Thanksgiving break as well, November 24th through the 28th. So they have the entire week. Hattiesburg Public School District, November 18th. That's today. They're having a spelling bee this morning after the show. They're going to have a spelling bee at 8:30 at the middle school. November 20th, they're having a STEAM PTA meeting. And for those of you unfamiliar with STEAM, it stands for science, technology, engineering, the arts, and math. So the A is for arts. We can't forget about those who are very creative, filmmakers, producers, all of those people. They fall right under that arts category. November 21st, they're having a lunch and learn a palooza at 10:30 a.m. That's the start time. And it's going to end at 2 o'clock, and that's going to be at Thames Elementary. Their fall festival will start at 1:15, and that's going to be at the middle school courtyard. Again, Hattiesburg Public School District. Just wanted you to be aware of that. Reverend Dr. Melvin Collins and the St. Matthew MB Church will be hosting its pre-Thanksgiving dinner. And that's going to be next Monday evening. That's November 24th, starting at 5 p.m. The dinner will go from 5 to 7. So come on out and enjoy food and fellowship and be encouraged, okay? The holidays are coming and we don't want you to be down. You have friends, you have family, you have someone who will love you and encourage you and support you. Come on out. I plan to see you there. That's 5 p.m. until 7 p.m. next Monday evening at St. Matthew MB Church, located at 3660 Fontaine Avenue, right here in Jackson, Mississippi. Bring a friend with you. You can make it a date night, if you're courting someone and you kind of want to take them out, but the money is funny. Say, look, I want to take you somewhere. We're going to go on over to St. Matthew. Or don't even tell them, just show up there. And he or she will be so surprised, like, wow, what is this? And listen, we'll set you up a special little spot and everything. Make it a date night for someone whom you really care about. You will not be sorry that you came. I've experienced their cooking, serving, and their overall ministry, and I cannot say enough great things about that little jewel over there on Fontaine Avenue. But don't take my word for it. Come on out and experience it for yourself. As a matter of fact, don't take my word for anything that I share with you. Check it out, because I can back it up. If you show up, you might catch some of my banana pudding, because I'm thinking about blessing them. Yep, I cook. I love to cook. And I'm going to make a banana pudding. I may need to make 2 or 3 because they will be gone. All right. So those are just a few announcements that I want to share with you. We have been talking about that credit report for a while, and I'm not even going to talk about it today because I just want you to remember now that you are entitled to 1 free credit report. But I'm not going to go into Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion this morning. We'll wrap back around to it, loop back around, and talk about those 3 different nationwide consumer credit reporting companies at another time. We've talked about them before, but I'd like to review things because repetition teaches a dear school. In other words, we learn from repeating things. Practice, it might not make perfect, but it will make you better. Okay? Ask a test-taking solution scholar. They will tell you that practice makes you better. So we'll continue to talk about those credit reporting companies and how to get late payments, collections, judgments, derogatory items off of your credit report. But just know that you can go to annualcreditreport.com, annualcreditreport.com. That way you can download your free credit report at least once a year. Now, you know that I've been reading. I love to read. I read every day. But this book, Learning to Trust by Dr. Sabrina Williams, she wrote it because she wanted to provide a guide for building, protecting, and transferring our wealth. Yeah, she wanted to help us with succession planning. And I don't care if you think you don't have a lot. What you do have is a lot to somebody. It means something. Even that little bracelet that you wear, that ring that you wear, that necklace that you wear, that handkerchief that you put in your pocket, that beanie, that hat that you put on your head, those are assets and they matter to somebody. So you want to have succession planning. You want to think about, who do I want to leave these things to? Who do I want to bless with my possessions once I'm gone? So estate planning benefits everyone, regardless of your financial status. Don't ever want you to think, I ain't got nothing to leave. Yes, you do. So in her book, Learning to Trust, again by Dr. Sabrina Williams, and you hear her on Monday mornings right on WMPR 90.1 FM. We thank God for the radio station for helping to inform the community Well, she shares a few examples to illustrate why trust matters after you die. She said Aunt Mary was a well respected retired school teacher who passed away without a will or trust. You know somebody like that? I do. She was never married, had no children, but was the favorite aunt of her four nieces and three nephews. At the time of her death, Aunt Mary's assets included a home, an antique furniture collection. She had a car. She had $5,000 in a checking account. She had $50,000 in a savings account. And she had her state pension plan. And that was valued at about $650,000. Aunt Mary named her niece and namesake, Mary Alice, as the beneficiary of her pension, but failed to list her as a pay on death designee on her bank accounts. Sadly, her family was left scrambling trying to figure out how to access the money she had in the bank to help pay for Aunt Mary's funeral, as well as how to handle the division and distribution of her other assets. The family eventually resorted to having a fish fry benefit to raise the money to pay for Aunt Mary's burial expenses. Ain't that something? Some of us are about fish fried out. Yes, we got to get our business straight. But if we don't know what to do, then we just don't know what to do. It is important that we learn that we have to list people as pay on death designees on our bank accounts. But again, you speak to a financial advisor. Dr. Williams, she has a disclaimer at the start of her book. She says, look, it's been compiled based on my personal study and my understanding of estate planning and trust. And it's not meant to serve as a substitute for legal or tax advice. You really want to know what's going on. Listen, don't forget, I told you, Attorney Judge Mumford, they have a law firm that deals with this very issue, real estate, tax issues, etc. And y'all can call them up and they will help you to figure all this stuff out because it's complicated, it's complex, like medicine. The field of medicine is very complicated. If you don't know medicine, I tell folks, don't try to diagnose yourself and treat yourself and manage yourself. You got to talk to some of us who've been to medical school and residency, those long years of learning medical science, right? So we need to talk to someone who has legal expertise. Yet, I also want to put a caveat there. The best type sense is bought sense. In other words, common sense, having experienced some things, that does count for something too. And so Dr. Williams writes this book based on her experience. Been there, done that kind of stuff. And that is what she shares with us in her book. She gives another example. She says Uncle Johnny was the oldest of his 5 siblings. When his mother died in 1975, they had a family Bible. That Bible was passed down to him. Although the Bible does not have any significant monetary value, it holds a lot of sentimental value, as the births, the deaths, the marriages of all family members have been recorded in the Bible dating back to the 1800s. Well, Uncle Johnny, who inherited that Bible, you all, he passed away without a will or a trust. It has been 10 years since Uncle Johnny's funeral, and 2 of his sisters are still fighting over that family Bible. Then fell out over the Bible. Now, you know, the good Lord wouldn't like no stuff like that, but it happens. It happens. Some of your worst enemies are your family members. I know all about it now, and so you don't have to tell me. Experience teaches a dear school. It helps us know how to walk and talk in this life. And then that formal education we receive helps us to move about as well. But I want you to continue to stay tuned to the Literacy Hour because we'll continue to share information like that. Someone sent me a note a moment ago, Dr. Liddell, what stocks are you watching? Well, yeah, I usually tell y'all what stocks I'm watching. I will tell you now, Netflix. Netflix did a number here recently. Netflix was the same stock this past Friday, trading at the same valuation now. Netflix split, you all. This past week, Netflix split. 10 to 1. See, we had been watching that stock. And I remember Netflix when they were distributing the movies on DVD. I still have some because I bought them. Bought Muhammad Ali and some other things for my son as a gift. And we still have those DVDs. Anyway, Netflix had gotten all the way up to about $1,125 a share. That's what it closed at on Friday. I want you to hear me well now, okay? We're talking about experience. You seek out the financial folks with the expertise to confirm stuff and really get into things, but experience means a great deal. And I told you Netflix was going up, 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 and that Netflix made it all the way up to $1,125 a share, and then they split 10 to 1. Now, what does that mean? What does a split mean? It means, you all, that for every one share you may have owned of Netflix, Netflix gave you 10. Now, your valuation did not change. That didn't change. So, for example, if you had $1,125 one share, if you had one share on Friday, and that's what it closed at, $1,125, and they split 10 to 1. Now your portfolio has 10 shares of Netflix, and they're valued at $112.50. You see the 1,125, divide that by 10, and you're going to get $112.50. That's how much each of the stock was worth on Friday. And now you have 10 of them. So you're going to be watching to see, hey, can these 10 get back up to close to that 1,000 mark? If not over time, it might. So let's keep watching that Netflix stock. Amazon. Last time you and I talked now, Amazon was trading at $226.40. Let me see if I can get to seeing what it is trading at today. That's Amazon. Let's see. Amazon looks like it's sitting at $227.64, and that's a downturn. It's greater than what it was when we last shared, but it had gotten even higher than that. But $227.54 is where it's at this morning. The bell opens. I think they ring it over there at 8 o'clock, which it is 8:58 over there on the East Coast now. So the markets have opened. A widespread outage linked to Amazon's web services affected many companies back here a while back, and the Amazon stock did take a hit because of that, but it recovered. And I just will forever be reminded that Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, he doesn't have an MBA, you all. He doesn't have a business degree. He got started in his garage. And if he can do it, we can do it. The difference is, however, I believe, is that he had access to capital. And not all of us have access to capital equally. It just is what it is. I'm still watching BlackBerry because they joined forces with Amazon Web Services recently. And the last time we talked, BlackBerry was trading at $4.03. Today, BlackBerry is trading at $4.12. So I'm going to keep watching BlackBerry. Even though, again, the market has taken a hit here recently for a number of reasons, BlackBerry seems to be holding strong. Novo Nordisk, some things have happened with them and Eli Lilly and this weight loss medication stuff is going on with that. Crypto, I'm still watching Bitcoin and XRP, but they've been taking some hits. That's X as in X-ray, R as in road dog, and P as in pot. P as in party, XRP. Watching Bitcoin and XRP, Bitcoin has taken a big hit. The last time we talked, Bitcoin was trading at 111,000 and now it's at 91,000. So that's a long way from 111,000. It has taken a big hit for a number of reasons. But hey, we're running out of time and I don't have time to talk about those reasons. Don't forget to vote December 2nd for someone with a plan, for someone who truly cares, for someone who has a plan about what needs to be done and what she plans to do on day one. So when you're out and about and you happen to see the candidates, ask them about their specific plans, and you'll know just what to do on December 2nd. Join me back here next Tuesday, which will be Fourth Tuesday, Mental Health and Wellness. Ooh, I can't wait. We'll be sharing some helpful community resources with you. Health is wealth, and mindsets control our assets. Have a great rest of your day.
For the past 1 hour, you have been listening to the Literacy Hour with Test Taking Solution and your host, Dr. Kentrell Liddell, MD, MBA. We are located at 2104 Thousand Oaks Drive in Jackson, Mississippi. Visit us on the web at www.testtakingsolution.com. Join us each Tuesday from 7 to 8 a.m. for another life-changing conversation
Here on our podcast live stream at affiliate stations.